Hey, so we got a battle report about to go down here with Sky Marshal Anonimo. And we got the board set up. I'll give you a aerial. We're playing on the floor because I don't have a 6x4 table. So I got my Dark Eldar army against Imperial Guard over there. Don't know how well you can see those, but the room's quite light. So we're playing, Capture and Control and Dawn of War deployment. Phil got the first turn, so he's set up a big unit of guardsmen in the middle here, and his command squad up top, and then a missile launcher team over there, and his objective here, this thing. I stuck my objective on a burnt out basilisk over there in this half of the board, and all I have on is one raider with a unit of cavalry warriors. So I'm just going to roll for the first turn, and we'll get back. Right, so it's top turn 1. I saw the initiative, and I've moved all my guys up here. Void Ravens and things are preparing to fire. I moved my cavalry warriors up here. My Archon got out of his raider and put his webway portal down and rolled a 5 for their fleet, which is pretty good. So I think what I'm going to do first is fire some missiles off of these into the massed infantry there. So I need the big last template, and we'll get back to you for the dice rolls, because I have to look up the rules and things. So my first Void Raven's going to shoot at Phil's big squad of infantry here. But because it's Dawn of War, it's still night fighting, so it's 2d6 times 3 in it. So that is 9 times 3, that's 27 inches, which is more than enough. Yep. So he's going to fire 2 Shatterfield missiles into that squad, so I need scatter dice. There we go. And I'll centre it over, yeah, that guy there. Okay? So, that hits. It's good to roll the scatter dice as close to the target as possible, and then that way there's no thing if it was way out here, and you were like, oh well, what way is that gone, kind of thing, you know? So that hits, wow, that's a lot of guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, I'm going to say. If you all agree with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, and we'll get back to you for the to wound roll. So, I fired 2 missiles, I've got to do the second one, but that scattered, so I got 4 hits. So that's 25 hits in total to roll wounds. Now what's great about these are they're strength 7, and you get to re-roll the wounds on them. So wounded on 2 ups. So it's best to pull out all the misses when you're doing this, or the not wounds, and then there's no question of what was or what wasn't, kind of thing. So these ones are re-rolled, and that's 25 saves Phil has to make. So while he sorts out his wound allocation amongst things, then we'll get back to you and see how the saves go. So Phil has done his wound allocation. It's a little complicated because it's a big squad, but basically he's going to take the commissar and some sergeants in the box are not going to take an armour save, but he's got a test for a sergeant now. Who dies, and a flamer who also dies.
The rest are normal men.
And now the rest are normal men. Okay, so that's a few saves in there. Lady Averages has her hand in there too, though.
Oh,
so
a lot of men died.
Yeah.
So,
and that is a test as well, isn't it? They'll have to take
10, 12, 14, 16, 18 men die plus sergeant or flamer.
So that is a leadership test. But what's good about this is, well, sort of good to Phil, is that the commissar gives the unit stubborn, so it'll still be testing on his leadership of 9, and they get a re-roll for that because of the flag is within range, and because of his summary execution special rule. So I haven't finished shooting them yet, so we don't have to take a test. So I have to highly recommend Shatterfield missiles, and this is why I've just got another 11 hit. Well, hit all of the squad of men that are left. So wounded on 2s with rerolls. So there's only 2 misses in there, and so that's all wounds. Phil does get cover saves now versus this is half of his guys in cover, and he'll still get, but he still has to allocate his his wounds, and then we'll get back to you when he's taken off the saves. Oh, before we go, I just want to say, it's like the advert, right? So I fired one missile from this, but it's quite a deluxe model, so it has the magnetised, so I can just pull that off, and I know how many I've used, so thanks very much. So Phil's just about to roll for his wounds. If you just want to tell us like what one you're rolling for as you do it.
So these are for the normal men, and they get cover save of.
Yeah, cover save 4+.
One these 2. These are the flamers. One
dies.
The sergeant. He dies. And the commissar
survives, which is pretty essential.
Yeah.
That's all that I am going to be shooting. That unit of Phil. So now he can take a leadership test if he so wishes. And they pass on a 4. They love it.
Yeah.
So they didn't even like those guys.
Come on the guard.
Okay, so it's the bottom of turn 1, isn't it? And all stuff is moved on. Do you want to tell us what these things actually are?
Yeah, these are missile launchers, and this is a platoon command squad, so they're going to help each other out.
With a mortar in there, right?
Yeah, and they're going to hopefully hold this right-hand side with heavy fire. They've got the centre, so they've got some more powerful weapons in the middle to draw his fire, and then these faster tanks, supported by Ogrins, flame out the centre.
And then your command squad just stayed where it is, and these guys have moved a little bit forward to
I feel like the command squad is going to
try and attack these.
Destroyed pretty quickly in a minute, but we'll see how that works.
Yeah.
It's night fighting rules, which is a bit of a nuisance.
So we'll get back to you in the shooting phase and we have some dice rolls. Okay, so orders for the Imperial Guard.
They're double rank and fire the squad, all that's left of the squad. And that's a fail.
So they get re-roll with the Vox.
They pass.
They pass.
So we're going to flame first.
Okay.
All 4 of those.
Yeah, that's 4 guys.
Strength 4.
4. Yep, toughness 3. So that's 2 wounds.
2 wounds.
And then las guns.
Yeah. Which is 12.
Let's get the dice rolls on them. People like to see that.
I believe. 2, 4, 5, 5, 3, 15.
Yeah, looking for 4s to hit.
Yep.
A little above average there.
And then 4's in.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So you're gonna
lady average is going to come back to me later, but I did wipe out most of that squad. So I'll sort out my wound allocation, and then that storm of fire killed 2 of the incubus. The Archon took 2 saves, but he has Shadow Field, which gives him a 2 up invulnerable. We made them both. And now Phil's going to double rank and fire his command squad onto the incubi again.
Yep.
But I don't know if you roll night fighting first or the leadership test first.
So, well, that's double rank and fire passed. So
Okay.
now if we roll
Night fighting rules. And that is 5, so that's 15, and they have to be within 12 inches to rapid fire them, so you should be fine. We'll just measure that now.
Yeah.
You only got to reach to like the front guy, haven't you? So yeah, that's fine.
Yes, good. Alright.
Okay. So these are all las gun shots, las pistols. Needing freeze. So maybe averages has come back a bit there. It's a lot of 1s and 2s. Quite a bit below average. And then 4s to wound. So that's just above average.
And the sniper.
Then the sniper on a 3, he hits, and also wounds on a 4, 6 is rend. So that's 4.
Nice.
Okay.
4 wounds.
So that's 4 wounds on the same squad. Okay, so I will take 1 on the Archon again, and 3 on normal incubi. So 1 more incubi dies, and the Archon, he survives. Doesn't take a wound. Okay, so it's top of turn 2, and Phil's stuff was like all moved up, and those guys are pretty withered. Lost a lot from them, but they should charge in there and wipe those guys out. So now I've got to roll for my reserves. I'll roll for like here, but I'll say which one. But because Phil has, what is that? Which one is it? Through the fleet.
Yeah.
He gives -1 to my reserve rolls. So I'll start with the Hellions. So normally a 4, but now a 5. Nope, they would have made it. That's annoying. The Scourges. Nope. And the Witches are the only other thing in reserve. No, so nothing yet. I'll do my movement phase and then we'll get back to you. I'll get that picture out.
So just explain what you've done.
Okay, so basically, it's the end of my movement phase. I've jetted this out 36 over here, moved flat, so it's got a cover save. This has just moved back a little bit. That stayed where it is. The Incubi and Archon got back in their Raider and have jetted over here. And my Reavers, which were here, have turbo boosted 36 all the way over to the other side of the board to get a 3+ cover save. And now it's my shooting phase, and the Cavalry Warriors are going to shoot at and try and finish off the infantry in the middle, and the Void Raven is going to try and take out the command squad here with a couple of missiles. So we'll get back to you for the dice rolls once that's all set up. So the Cavalry Warriors shooting at the platoon, hitting on 3 with re-rolls because of Splinter Axe. So that's pretty good. So that's all hits. And then 2 blasters, both hit. So the blasters wound on 2s, so that's 1 wound, the cover save. And 4s for these. And that's load more cover saves.
So I've got to assign now and then work out.
Yeah, because you have a Flamer, a Vox. So the Void Raven has 1 Shatterfield missile left, and it's going to shoot it at the command squad. Now, because it's a blast weapon, it can only hit one of the levels, so I'm going to aim at the middle level with the most men, and if it scatters like off either side, then it's not going to hit anything. I'm going to centre it over the guy with the Vox here, so it'll hit all of the guys on that level. So I'll roll it on the floor, nice and close. And that is 9 inches scatter, minus 4, so that's 5 inches. So that got him. So yeah, I don't think it's going to hit anything. No, so that's a null point.
Yeah,
I do have 2 implosion missiles though with a small blast template that in fact it has 2 dark lances as well. So 3s, 2 hits, 2s. 2 wounds, and yeah, I won't try the implosion ones yet, I'll leave it at that. So, top of, no, bottom of the second. Do you want to tell us what you've done?
Yeah, I just moved the Ogrins across, moved the fast moving tanks away from one of the Void Bombers.
Yeah, Void Raven.
Void Raven. Moved the flaming armoured sentinels up across the board, and the Lehman, because it's got a flamer as well, to support the heavy weapons across here. And then issue orders and then weapons.
So just random?
Just random.
No tactics for this turn, what you're going to try and take out. So what order are you going to issue first?
Well, these are going to get move because they're out in the open.
On themselves or?
No.
On the Ogrins, okay. Yeah, so that passes.
And 6 inches. They need to get across before they get blasted.
Yeah, they have 1 more order, right?
Yeah, and they're going to issue one that goes to ground.
Okay, yeah.
On themselves.
Duck and cover, and they pass on at 8.
Yeah, 2+ armor save.
Cover.
2+ cover.
Yeah. And your
and there's no other orders to issue, so we're just going to...
No, they can't bring it down or anything.
No, they're not monstrous.
Okay, yeah. So, on with the rest of your shooting.
Yeah, so I'm going to work out the rest of my shooting.
Okay. So it's the middle of the shooting phase, and Phil's killed most of my Reaver jet bikes, which isn't so good. We were just talking about his missile launchers firing crack or frag, and I thought the odds were better on crack of him hitting as he's rolling like less dice and has more of a chance of hitting and less of a than he has of a chance of scattering with the thing. But he's decided to go for a
split. 2 cracks.
So 2 cracks, 1 hit, perfectly average. 1 frag on the middle guy, which scatters way off 6 inches.
A long way.
Yeah, so it's not going to hit anything.
1 crack.
So it's 1 wound.
Strength 8.
Yeah, 1 wound. So 1 armor save to make. I'll take it on the champion, and he fails with 2. So Phil's just hit with all of his missiles into my Void Raven, and penetrated with every hit as well, because he's obviously really lightly armoured, but that is a really good roll nonetheless. So he didn't move, so he only has Flicker Field, which is a 5+ invulnerable, so against all these penetrating hits, hopefully he'll save a couple. Saves 1, so which is perfectly average. So now you can roll your 2 on the damage table, and see what you come up with. And it explodes. D6 inches, but I don't think it's going to hit anything. 3. 3, maybe. So, clink. still gets the save against that as well.
Yeah.
Phil's going to flame the Raider with the Cavalite Warriors.
12 inches.
12 inches.
Oh.
So that's going to be 2 hits.
Yep.
Needing 5s and 6s. There's a 1 penetrating hit. Flicker Field, which is 5 up.
Ooh.
And he makes it. Yes. Unbelievable. So it's hard to see through like the camera, and I was like, what? Oh yeah.
Right, I'm going to shoot the 3 hunter-killer missiles at that as well. 1 hit.
1 hit. And strength 8. Nothing.
Nothing.
1.
Ah.
So it lives another day. We're having pizza, by the way, so my apologies. Most of it is gone now, though. So reserves, Chopper's down 3. Phil destroyed my Void Raven, so that's gone. Only 2 Reavers left. These guys are like perfectly fine. This is ready to move and do stuff again. So reserves. So I'll start with Scourges on a 4+ now, right? Nope. The Witches. Nope. And the Hellions. Yes, they do arrive. And so they can arrive through the webway portal now in the middle here, which is what they're going to do. So how this works is they just move in, base contact with it, and then they can act normally, and they're flying, so they can still move 12 and assaults, etc. So, and yeah, I'll get back to you at the end of my movement.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I flew the Reaver jet bikes over there, and the cluster caltrops killed the weapons team that was there. Now the Void Raven is going to do its implosion missiles on the Ogrins here, so I'm going to send the marker over this guy, roll it nice and close, so -4, so that's 2 inches. Take measures here. And this is just the first one. So 2. Yeah, we'll say it was 1, it'd hit.
Okay.
And the second one, same place. 4. So I got 4 hits with the Ogrins, and how this works is you have to take a test based on your wounds.
Mm-hmm.
So
they get 3 wounds.
So it's a characteristic test, yeah. So if you roll a 3 or less, then they're fine, basically.
Okay, so the 2 Ogrins.
They're both fine.
And this is for the same one.
And he's fine as well. So 2 missiles wasted. Otherwise, it would have been instant death, and they would have been instantly killed. So
it's a fine characteristic.
Yeah,
that's well.
So yeah, there you go. I'll fire 2 Dark Frances at them as well on 3s. No hits. Well, there you go. Not meant to be. And yeah, that moved flat out. So that is it for my. Oh, I just have close combat here. So I'll get back to you. So Hellions are like the greatest unit in the game, right? I charge in against Phil's command squad, and I'm like, yes, this is going to own him because he's got an agonizer wound on the 4+ rerolls because it's poisoned, and that's how the rules work. So I get 2 power weapon wounds, which means 2 guys have to die, and then I get 3 other wounds, which they're only making their 5+ armor saves. The 2 power weapon wounds, though, get allocated onto the bodyguard because of his special rules. So he just dies, so that's 1 for, like 2 for the price of 1, basically. And then Phil's unit has Feel No Pain. He fails all of his armor saves for like the flag, the sniper, and the Voxcaster. And then he rolls his Feel No Pain for each of them, and this is what it comes out as. Yeah, 2 6s and a 5. So Hellions whiffed, and now they're going to get beaten to a bloody pulp by these angry guardsmen. So we'll get back to you after that. So at the end of the close combat with the Hellions and the command squad did 2 wounds back. I lost 1 Hellion, and then the flag gives them +1 wound, so it was a draw, and they're locked in combat, which means the Ogrins can now move in and destroy them, as it is turn 3. Phil's still waiting for 2 units of troops to come in. The Valkyries over there, which are probably going to come in and take this objective. So I still have a lot to do, but hopefully somehow I'll be able to pull it off. I've still got quite a few things coming from reserve myself. So, the Raider or the Cavalite Warriors have a pain token, and so do the Reavers, so they both have Feel No Pain. Yeah. So do you want to give us a summary on how this turn has gone for you?
Really, really well. I managed to
knock out the Raider with the men in it, although 6 twin-linked blast cannons did not do anything. I made the bike run away. I knocked out the other Raider with his Carbonite warriors.
Yeah. So do you want to give us a summary on how this turn has gone for you?
Really, really well. I managed to knock out the Raider with the men in it, although 6 twin-linked blast cannons did not do anything. I made the bike run away. I knocked out the other Raider with his Carbonite warriors.
Yep.
And then
who got pinned and lost 5 of their unit.
The Ogryns then turned up and destroyed the last of the Helion.
Yep.
And yeah,
so not much left. Yeah.
Reserves left.
So yeah, we'll pass over to Phil now while I start rolling for reserve. So the Witches on a 3+ now, finally. They're in, and the Scourges are in as well. So I'll bring those on and start moving them, and then we'll see how it goes. Okay, so it's turn. What turn is it?
It's turn 3, 4.
Top of turn 4. So top of turn 4. My Scourges and Witches arrived from reserve. The Scourges blew up the 2 Hellhounds there. The Witches have fleeted and moving to try and get this objective. And my guys have moved in over the thing. They made their dangerous terrain to assault the weapons team, and he has a Phantasm grenade launcher, so he gets to strike first. So the Archon will sort his attacks out in a minute, but the Clavex has Demiclaves, which gives him either +1 strength or +1 attack. +2 strength, sorry. So what I'm going to do is give him, because there's more wounds there, I'm going to give him +2 attacks. So he has 2 base, I think. No, he has 3 attacks base, +2, +1 for charging, so 6. And then the others have 2 base, and +1 for charging. The Archon has 4 base, +1 for 2 close combat weapons, +1 for charging. And they're all hitting on 3s, so by the onslaught roll he gives them, any roll to wound of a 6 gets an additional attack. So 3s to hit, so that's all those hits there. And these as well, 3s to hit, that's not so good. And then they are strength 4 because of their weapons, so that's 3s to wound, and that's 2 extra attacks, so 3s, and there's another wound. And then the Archon has a power weapon. These are all power weapon attacks. 3s and 4s with rerolls. 3s, I think. No. So that's a whole lot of wounds. I think I wiped them out actually, because there's 2, 4, 6. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gone.
So there you go. So it's a victory for them, and consolidation 4 inches. So they'll get right into cover there. So turn 4?
Yeah.
And Phil's reserves, a Warhound Titan has arrived on the board. There he is. He can move on and off the board as he pleases though. And provides cover saves to many things. What are you doing? He stares at that as well, because he can see himself in the reflection. He looks at it, so he's looking at it for ages. So he's got the hypnotic gaze special rule where he gets trapped by his own reflection. Yeah. And as he passes over the battlefield, any units he passes over, he inflicts 2d6 10 hits. So Phil has his battle cannon left to fire at the end of his turn, and he wanted to fire it at the Witches here, but the problem is he has to fire it indirectly now, as his line of sight is blocked by the Reaver Titan. So. Oh, it's gone. So now he's got a clear line of sight through there onto the... Okay, so at the end of my shooting phase, it's last turn now, turn 5, stunned the Lehman with the Reaver, who's still hanging out there, which is good. The Void Raven blew up a Walker, an armoured sentinel, and these guys shot down one of the Valkyries, the veterans got out and pinned and got in prime assault range for the witches, who we're just about to roll their attacks for. So I have a Hydra Gauntlets, which gave me 11 bonus attacks. So extra attacks on these, and I'm going to be hitting on 3s and wounding on 4s. So let's put out pretty good. So 4 up. That's not quite as good, but should hopefully be able to get most of them. And then power weapon from the Hecatrix, 3s. That's only 1 hit and 4 up with reroll because same strength. Nope. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 saves to make it for the fight. You got 5 attacks. How many flamers are in there?
Oh, there's loads of flamers.
It's the end of turn 5, and the score is 0-0 because Phil thought he had a scoring unit here, but he only has HQ and elites, so no scoring unit on his objective, and this objective is contested because this combat was a draw between the witches and the guardsmen Space Marines. So we're going to roll to see if it goes on and then carry on tomorrow morning, I think. So, because we're going to go to the pub now and get really drunk. As all good battle reports are supposed to end in. So we will catch up with you tomorrow. Alright, so we're going to roll to see if the game goes on, and then we will carry on playing tomorrow morning. So on a 1 or a 2 it ends, and on a 3 up it continues. And the game ends as a draw. So we'll do a read-up maybe like tomorrow morning or a bit later, and then might have a rematch tomorrow depending on how we do for time. So I hope you enjoyed and got your inspiration for the day. Oh, and this battle report was dedicated to George Parks. So.